All right, that was ridiculous. I just filmed this whole video. I promised that it would be short. I was watching it back. It was not short, and I couldn't have made it much shorter with editing. So I'm gonna do it again. All right, so welcome back, you guys, to another video. My name is Sam Johnson. I want to talk about cinematic photos today. How to get cinematic photos. I've got 3 tips for you. This will be short. I've got examples. I will run through and just kind of show you how this all works. These are big tips. They're very broad, but they've things I've kind of discovered over the years of taking photos, and they've really helped me up my photo game and kind of take my photos to a cinematic new level. So yeah, let's get started. So I'm just gonna give you the three tips right off the top. I'm not even gonna go through. I'm just gonna nail you with points 1, 2, and 3. And then we can go through all these photos, and I'll just kind of describe to you and show you how those examples fit in, how those points fit into the photos. Okay, so number 1 would be depth, whether that be compression or like depth of field. Adding that depth to your photo and creating that to draw attention to the subject is so important. The last 2 are both big, but they kind of pair hand in hand. Number 2 would be light. And number 3 would be color. Having the right light helps you produce the right colors. And having the right color will help your photos pop a little more. And having the right light, depending on what look you're going for, a little more dramatic or maybe a little more dreamlike, having that right light, shooting at the right time of day, if you're shooting outdoors or if you're using studio light or whatever, having that light set up the proper way to get those cinematic photos, it'll help you. Okay, let's roll in. Let's get into the computer here. All right, example number 1. This is a photo that deals really, it really represents the whole depth tip very well. This was shot on a long lens, I think about 100 mil on a crop body, so 160-ish millimeters. I try to shoot my photos when I want compression between 1 and 200 millimeters. You can go even further, but it's kind of a good standard. It's not insane, but it's like it's up there. It's a good kind of point to be at, and depending on if you're using a crop sensor or full frame, you might be able to get away with less. So yeah, this photo represents depth very well. Shot 100 millimeter. You got the focus being drawn in right in the middle to the guy on the dirt bike. You can see the foreground leading up is out of focus, and then you got the sliver of focus for him to be in focus, and your focus to be drawn to him. Your not the camera focus, your focus, you viewing the image to be drawn to him. Background's out of focus, and yeah, it's great. As far as light and color, we're shooting at sunset, so you got that nice golden hour light, and it helps you represent the colors quite nicely. This was shot in spring, so it was gross and kind of nasty out, so there's not a lot of color to reproduce, but I mean, you got a little bit in the branches here, you got the sky popping a little bit back here, and then of course just the nice like contrast on the dirt bike and the guy himself. All that there, colors are great. So yeah, that I would say is a pretty cinematic photo. Next example is this one. This one is also a good example of depth, but it's not using compression. You're using depth of field in this one. This was shot wide, like 16 mil or something. Focuses on the hand. You can see the background out of focus. The arm leading up is out of focus. Using that depth of field to really draw to the subject, but you still see the grand scheme of the photo. It kind of draws in really. You pick one spot and you give your attention to that one spot, which is great. The light. This was shot kind of midday. Light is it is harsh, but it didn't turn out too bad because you do have some more contrast, a little bit more contrasty than I would usually shoot, but it came out quite well. The colors even were reproduced not bad as well. The greens in the trees, blue in the sleeve, all that kind of stuff looks great. The blue in the sky even's coming through. You got that dynamic range, and yeah, looks great. With that light, even though it's a little more contrasty, you still get decent colors. And yeah, that one I would say is also a very cinematic photo. Next example, this one also shot at sunset. I love sunset, sunrise, both of them are great. This was shot at sunset. You got the backlight coming in on this one. I guess let's talk about depth real fast first. This was also shot 100 mil but this was on full frame, so this is actually 100 mil. You have the focus just kind of set on the subject, guy riding the bike here. You got all these foreground elements, the grasses and stuff like that, just melting away. Same with the background. Like, he fills the frame enough that all the little pieces kind of coming in and off in the background, just, yeah, they just melt away. And you got that focus drawn into the subject, and it looks amazing. The light coming in from the back, it's soft light because the sun's low in the sky. Looks amazing. Reflects off some of this grass too, kind of fills into the subject a little bit as well. You can kind of get the nice golden look, and that's where the color plays in. You get the nice color, warm tones that are replicated very, very accurately, just having that correct light. So yeah, that's another very cinematic photo in my opinion. Last example right here. This was taken in France, on the coast of the ocean. It was shot later in the day, so the sun was lower. Also had some cloud cover, so there's like kind of a soft cast of light. Looked great. This one was shot wide and not at a low aperture to create depth of field either. But you can still get the depth effect by having the subject here in the foreground and then kind of shooting. As I shot along this ridge, you can see how it goes out. You can see the beach off in the distance. You can see how things get smaller. That creates depth in the photo as well. And yeah, that light was really nice and soft, kind of coming in from the side. Shooting along this ridge allowed the contrast to kind of hit a bit. You got the fall off on the other side, which was nice. Having that beautiful light, again, beautiful color replication. The ocean maintains its nice kind of a deep desaturated blue. Same with the skies, kind of you can get the color there. And then the reds and the kind of oranges and stuff in the rocks, as well as her outfit, her hair, her skin tones, and then the greens along the side here. They get darker on this side, but here you can just kind of see the detail coming through. And yeah, to me that looks pretty cinematic. And that one is one that the depth of field, there's no like blurry background or anything like that. It might be a little out of focus up here, but barely anything you can tell. So yeah, it's pretty much all in focus shot, but you can still make it look pretty cinematic, and it's just about got all the elements there. So yeah, I hope this was something that was helpful to you. I hope this will help you go out and take more cinematic photos. Hopefully you can take these very kind of broad tips, but I think they're big, important tips. Hopefully you can take them and you can apply them and take some awesome photos. So yeah, thank you for watching all the way through the end. If you did get all the way through the end, if you have any suggestions for videos you'd like to see, please comment below. Please subscribe, please consider it. It would help me out. Please like the video. And just stay tuned for more videos, and I'm gonna keep coming up with ideas and keep posting. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and take care. Peace out.